So, guys, the government, they're taking our money.
No.
They're taking more of our money.
The Tories taxing the poor. That's mad chat. Surely not.
We have an increase in our national insurance coming
The regressive
on
tax.
the way as a result of the government's proposed new plan to fund social care.
But it's not funding social care.
We can get into it, which means, and I'm not going to go through the maths, you guys know where to look, which means that depending on how much you earn, you could be potentially adding a nice up to 1,200, I want to say 1,100 and something, but let's just say 1,200 for argument's sake, to your annual national insurance contributions.
Thanks for coming.
No such thing as a free lunch, right? We are going through Brexit. We are going through, a year plus of furloughing.
Mm-hmm.
If you thought that this was just going to be a happy handout, my friend,
It's coming back.
is coming back.
People like Tommy voted for Brexit so that we could have our 350 million a week for the NHS. And then where's that money gone? Why isn't that funding it? Where's our Brexit dividend? Right? We were meant to be Singapore by the sea, or Singapore on Thames, we were told.
They did run that line, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what. And now what? Taxes are going up. It's also the most pernicious way that they could have done this, by raising national insurance, because it's a tax that disproportionately affects not only young, working, but lower income people as well. Right? After 50,000. Your relative or your marginal increase is reduced in terms of how much national insurance is taken out of your pay packet. So the difference, if you earn 45 grand and you earn 200 grand a year in terms of your national insurance contribution, isn't that massive. So the first thing is that it's ironic because of the whole Brexit shit. It's regressive because it impacts the poor. But the third thing is that it's actually not funding social care.
Tell me more.
The majority of this cash, or a significantly large proportion of it, is just going to plug a cash hole in the NHS. There's no new service provision. There's no extra funding for councils. There's no new program to help the elderly or to help the ill who need more significant care. It's just a lot of this cash is just going to plug a hole in the NHS. Let's be honest. It's largely born from a year's worth of shocking PPE contract tenders. If we hadn't wasted so much money finding shit like aprons from Turkey that don't work, then maybe the NHS would have a bit more money. What
do you mean plug a hole? Tell us, give us some details.
Actually,
when you say plug a hole,
pro raising taxes on poor people to find a budget gap in the NHS.
I'd love to get a word in. Explain. I want to understand. When you say plug a hole, please give us some colour.
Something like 5.9 billion of the 12 that's being raised is literally just going into NHS Central England's funding, because they've got a cash shortfall.
So it
on
shouldn't
the
go
budget
to
for
the
the
NHS. Is your argument? I'm just trying to
point is that
understand why is this tax rise not supporting the social security, social care?
It's been told that we're raising £12 billion to raise money for social care, which a lot of people support. I don't think anyone canvasses against that. Point, £12 billion isn't going to social care.
So where's it going?
I've just explained to
you. When you say plug a hole, though, that hole is what? A hole for the social care, or
no?
I don't
in
understand
NHS
what you mean.
general spending, in NHS whatever.
What's your understanding of it, Tommy? Well, go on.
I don't know. I don't
the
like being
floor.
preached to, and I've been preached to a lot today. So that's why I was like, ultimately, I don't disagree with a lot of what he said. It is a regressive tax, all of that shit. But ultimately, this is a problem that needs to be solved. And in the last 12 months, 18 months, I've had an intimate relationship with social care in the UK. So, I'm not talking from a theoretical perspective.
Yeah, of course.
Now, what you were talking about, the NHS, everything that I've read is essentially the argument that I've read is that this is basically a boom for private companies, right? The money's not really going to the NHS because a lot of social care is in the hands of private corporations, and this is just a payday for these private corporations, right? So that's why I was asking for an explanation of what you were talking about when you were saying plug a hole, because I was unfamiliar. I wasn't trying to challenge you. I just didn't know what you're talking about. So that's why I was asking for some color, right? Ultimately, obviously, everyone agrees with the fact that we need to do something with social care, right? We have an aging population and it's the direction of this aging is only going in one way, right? So this is a problem that needs to be fixed. Is this the best way to fix the problem? For me, no, right? Because it's not the greatest way of raising the cash. And once you've raised the cash, there's been no guidelines on how that cash is going to be spent, basically, right? So the issue that I have is that the people who do this work, generally speaking, are going to be fairly, I don't know, let's say from my experience over the last 2 years, 30, 40, 50% of them will be on 0-hour contracts. They're going to be jobs that you do for under 2 years because it's a transitionary job, because there is no career path for it. There's lots of like structural issues for people who are in this role, right? There's lots of, and I don't want to get into too many details because I don't know the details, but ultimately these guys aren't classified as NHS workers. So as a result, there's a lot of protections that they don't get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of career progression stuff that doesn't exist, right? So what you happen is young people, people in kind of transitory work will kind of find their way into this industry, and within an 18-month, 2-year period, they'd kind of segue out into whether it's nursing or physiotherapy or whatever, right? So what I would have liked to have seen would have been probably some more boundaries on how this money is spent effectively, as opposed to I don't disagree. It is a regressive way of raising the money. It's just about putting guidelines in so that these private firms that do the social care essentially don't take this as a dividend tax payment, a dividend payment, effectively.
Yeah.
So
So
that's where my concern is.
So yeah, and you're right, and a lot of the cash is going to go to basically for councils to reimburse the companies that they tender contracts out to, and I don't necessarily. I think again that's just plugging cash in the problem. That's not a structural change, and by no means a
But the
Corbynite.
cash
But
also is needed, right?
the cash is necessary.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that I'm by no means a Corbynite. In the last Labour manifesto, there were calls for a national social care service in the same way that we have a healthcare service, and this tax was marketed as a £12 billion spend. We need to raise money to fund social care spending, and I think everyone agrees with that. Everyone agrees we need to raise money to fund social care spending. The two problems I have is one, that the £12 billion pounds is not going to funding social care. We're not creating a new system of ensuring that elderly and sick and poor people are taken care of. But the money's coming from the wrong place. If we tax the rich in other senses, we could raise even more money. If we changed income tax rather than national insurance tax, we could do
I'm
it the
less
other way.
idealistic about it, right? If we did this, if we did that, fine. We've done it this way. What I'm saying is, with the money that's been raised, we need to have guidelines so that that money itself isn't abused, right? Because the employee, that money ultimately needs to trickle down to the person who's doing the care, basically.
So this is
and that's what I'd like to see the government have thought this through a little bit more to ensure that trickle down happens. Because right now, like from what I've seen or read or whatever, it seems to me that that trickle down effect is unlikely to happen. And these guys will carry on being on 0-hour contracts, carry on not really having much of a career progression. And this whole new tax that we're all funding hasn't made a difference or a material difference to their lives, and therefore the people who are getting care.
Yeah, and totally agree. And the point is that we would have liked to have seen a national social care service come out of this kind of tax. And I think it would have been wildly popular if you explain to people that we need to raise your taxes because we're going to create a new aspect of the healthcare system. People would have paid for it. And just to wrap this up in our bi-weekly Fuck Keir Starmer section, this asshole had the temerity to go into the House of Commons and attack the Tories from the right. He said that the Tories are no longer the lower tax party, and this asshole doesn't understand that actually working people are being shafted here, firstly. But secondly, people would be happy to pay more if the Tories committed to expanding our healthcare system. And I think it's another example of his failure of opposition leadership.
Keir always catches the strays, irrespective of how egregious the changes are from the Tories.
It's his job to challenge them.
Yeah. We keep fucking saying that. But
Can I just make one point?
Every single time, irrespective of what his challenge is, he seemingly catches fucking L's. And I don't think that's always fair.
To Johnny's point, he deserves the strays. But to Johnny's point about
all of them,
I'm
not sure.
Everyone that he's received on this pod, anyway. To Johnny's point, the reason that I get what you're saying, but the reason that I'm not hopeful about it is because we know who Boris is as a politician, right? So the opportunistic move is the move that he's made, right? Because, like you said, it's popular. It's just you wouldn't necessarily expect him to kick off a massive initiative like that because he may not have the skill set to do it. But if you've done this and you've got this fairly popular policy on the go, then surely it makes sense to make sure that the people you're trying to support, let's say, get that support, whether that's the people who are doing the caring or being cared for, basically.
So I'm sure Johnny is probably aware of what the Anne Widdecombe take on this is, given he subscribes to her on OnlyFans.
Intimately.
But I think that your monthly OnlyFans invoice is about to double, given that your boy, man like Goblin Dominic,
Yes.
is about to apparently sign up himself.
Big Dick Dom.
Man like Dominic is Cummings is looking into starting an OnlyFans account after the end of his political career in Number 10.
Can't wait.
Which is actually quite crazy. Good luck to him. Good luck to everybody. I'm just going to say shout out Keir Starmer because I just want it to feel like this is at least somebody
Fuck
supporting
him, man.
you in some of your travails.
Hopeless Labour
He
Party.
could have like literally Boris
cleaned up.
There was a lot of
Should have
let's say
cleaned up on this.
optimism around Boris when he came in,
Bruv.
right? But what Boris has shown is if he had a politically astute opposition, he would be
fucked.
underwater.
He'd be
Like he's
fucked.
not as
You
like
guys are
happy-go-lucky
sleeping on-
popular as we originally thought.
You man are sleeping on Teflon Boris, man.
Yeah, sure, Teflon, but like he's been up against no one. There's no need for him to be Teflon. The only thing he's been Teflon against is his own faux pas. It's not like anyone's putting him
He's
under
his
any
own
pressure.
opposition.
Yeah, he's
Rishi's
his
a
own
bigger opposition than
Exactly.
Keir Starmer.
Watch this space. They're saying that council tax is the next thing that's going to get hit, ladies and gentlemen. So save your dollar.
I can't wait to give Haringey more money.
Yeah. Tower Hamlets has already been eaten off, man, for a while. And
like dead off boroughs.
they've been justifying council tax hikes in, well, to be honest, they haven't really. They've just been sending me the end result. But yeah, be interesting to see how this affects my monthly outflow. But watch this space and save your dollar.
Gosh.
Join a union.